Ladies and gentlemen, after a weekend of very little football and, of course, the international week coming, we are in the studios for Grassroots Chats, and, of course, we have Big D in the building. We also have the angry one who's going to talk about me trying to jinx his team, even if they are in nice, wonderful position to seal the fourth spot. It's been an eventful weekend in the Premier League and the FA Cup. So we're just going to go through a lot of the situations that happened and just, see what the situation is. Big D, thank you for being in the studio. How have you been?
Yeah, good to be back. Yeah, been well.
Yes, I can see you've been well. You're growing a stub, sir. You're growing a stub. The angry one, happy with the results so far this week?
Yeah, but can we not call Big D Big D? It sounds a bit dubious. Can we say maybe Big Dunk or something like that? I don't know.
What are you thinking about the angry one? What are you thinking about?
To save people out there in case they're not sure what's going on.
Okay, let's start from the reverse. Let's start from the bottom of the league, or the relegation battle. So on Friday, Wolves versus Leeds, 2-0 at halftime. Watching that again and thinking this is all over. Come 90 minutes, Leeds 3-2 up. Big Dunk, how did you feel seeing that result? And what does that mean in terms of for Leeds? Do you think that can actually keep you up?
I'm not going to get carried away, but yeah, that was a big result. I was working and checked the phone at halftime, 2-0 down. I was like, this is not going to end well for Leeds. Checking it after I finished work and to see 3-2, I was like, damn, that's good. So yeah, checking the highlights out. I guess like the red card, a bit contentious. Whether he gives a yellow for that or not, 50-50 ball. I guess if he's looking at it or looking at it on VAR, he's decided that there's some heavy contact been made that's worthy of a yellow card. So that's obviously done us a few favours. But even when you're playing against 10 men, you still got to get the ball in the back of the net, and they stuck 3 in, 1 right at the end in injury time. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. That's a big result.
I mean,
I was going to say. Sorry.
No, continue.
I was going to say, like with the week before, the 2-1 against Norwich, like, man, like if we hadn't have got a win out of that one, it would have been looking real bad. So I wasn't getting carried away with that one. Just looking, okay, nice, we got the win there. But this one's big. Like that gives us a bit of a gap. Everton are in poor form. Brentford have lost a couple. Burnley, after they had their little spurt of a couple of wins, have had a couple of losses now. So. Again, work to be done, but a huge win could be vital.
Well, we shall see. I mean, before we talk about the red card, which I don't think it was, because I think it was a 50-50 ball between the goalkeeper and Raul Jimenez. But the angry one, what do you think? Do you think this is something? Do you think this is an impact from Jesse Marsch? Do you think he has given them some sort of belief? Or do you think it was just a case of the red card helped? Or what do you think it is?
Well, I don't know, because the defending to make them 2-0 down was absolutely woeful. It was like FIFA. They're just passing through them like nothing. Sorry, Big Dunk. It was atrocious. The defending was awful. But then, obviously, FIFA glitch came in. And then, red card, or 2 yellows. And then they just pulled it out of the bag. Wolves started panicking a little bit for some reason. Don't really know why. And then Lee just wanted it badly. Luke Ayling pops up, or what his name is. I know his name's Ayling. I don't know what his first name is. But 2 great goals. I mean, what a game. That's an unbelievable game. It shows that they've got fight. I don't know if it shows that that's specifically from the manager per se, or is it just that they don't want to get relegated? I'm not sure. It's early to say, because the performance in the first half, if that's based on the manager, it's not good. But second half, or whenever the red card happened, they really turned it around. It's one of those games. It's a beautiful thing to see. But jury's still out on that geezer anyway. Let's see.
Yeah, well, jury's still out. We shall see. 2 wins in 3. Not bad. His very first game that he lost, they looked a bit more compact. They lost 1-0. Going back to the red card, though, Big Dunk, what do you think? Did the VAR get that right? Did the ref get that right? I personally think it wasn't a red card. I think it was 50-50. There was no way Jimenez could stop. And it definitely did you a favor.
Yeah, I'd say if I was being honest, looking at myself, I wouldn't give that a card. But that's the luck of the draw. Like you know the way it goes throughout a season, your team will get some luck some decisions will go against them. So we'll gladly take that one and hopefully springboard onto some more wins.
But it's a bit silly though, because he was already on a yellow. He was never going to get that ball enough to actually put it towards goal. I mean, if he was defending, I can understand him flying in like that because he's trying to block the ball. But he's trying to score. He's not going to score from there. He's not. It's not possible. So in a way, it's a little bit reckless when you're on a yellow as well. It's not even a 50. It's 50-50 if you're going to challenge. It's not 50-50 if you're trying to score. There's no way. It's like 80-20. He's not scoring from there. You just need to leave. And they were 2-0 up. So really, why?
Well, I mean, he does have, I don't know if you say he does have a habit of some reckless slides or whatever. I mean, that's the second red card of the season. So, it could be a case that, refs are beginning to watch this guy. Oh, what's this guy doing? But we never know. It was a good result for Leeds. Leeds' next couple of fixtures, they have Southampton, Watford, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, and Man City. Now, the way the table is looking, and Leeds haven't played 30 games, a few games more than the other people at the bottom, but they have a good points ahead of Burnley and everybody else. I personally think the way the table is, it's going to end the same way this season. Everton have 3 games in hand over Leeds. I think that position might swap, but I think as it stands, Watford, Burnley, and Norwich will go down. What do you think, Big Donk?
Yeah, so I'd be hopeful that they would stay that way. Like Everton, man, we'll probably talk about them later. They're talking about Leeds defending. Everton defending today against Palace was real bad. So I don't know. You've got to expect Everton to pick something up along the way. But the other 3, again, like Burnley, we said they were looking like they're going down. Then they got a couple of wins. Now they're losing again. So they might bring themselves into contention. And I think Leeds are only 1 behind Brentford now. So same with Brentford. Brentford get a couple of results, and now they've got a couple of losses. They're dragged right back into it. I was amazed actually looking at the table that I wouldn't have even thought this, but Leeds are only 2 behind Newcastle now because Newcastle have had 2 losses as well. So I don't think they'll get dragged back in, but like that's how close we are up to those teams above now rather than the 3 below.
Well, speaking about Newcastle, I mean, we got it, well, not we, the angry one and Neil got it so wrong thinking Newcastle were going to spank Everton. I mean, Neil even said it was going to be 5-6-0. I don't know what he was thinking about. And Everton managed...
Whoa. I didn't say that, though.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. No,
5-6-0.
I said Neil. Neil said 5-6-0. You said Everton were going down, though. But...
They might still do.
They managed to win against Newcastle. And even if today they were spanked by Crystal Palace in the, FA Cup, do you still think they're going down? Do you think there's hope for them, the angry one?
I don't know, man, because when Iwobi scores that last gasp winner, well, that was straight down the middle of the goal. That was a terrible finish. But anyway, no story. He does that. Any other team, they're going mad. He's there basically celebrating by himself, and only Calvert-Lewin comes over and does a little pose with him. I mean, there
was a hug from the rest of everybody else towards the end. There was like a huddle.
Yeah, towards the end.
I think everybody else was just celebrating in different directions just to...
and that's what I'm saying, because in most games, when Arsenal did it last minute against, I can't remember who it was now, Lacaz's cross, when Leeds did it, the whole team were just all over each other going mad like it was a rave. But Iwobi was there by himself. People were kind of distant. Then later on, after a little while, then they've all hugged each other like they normally do. To me,
maybe they're just so disorganised they couldn't even get their celebration together.
Yeah, this is it. So that's a little bit worrying, even though they got goals in games in hand, because if something's wrong there, they're not really a team. I don't know what Alan's doing. Just flacking somebody.
I like
what you doing.
I like that you brought the Allen situation in, because Frank Lampard was under the impression that it wasn't a red card. What do you think?
It was a purple card, mate. It was 2 red cards combined. What's that? He just flag kicked him. Come on, man. Come on. Is that not a red card? It's terrible. You can't get away with that.
I mean, Lamps was very convinced that it wasn't a red card.
What was it? Yellow.
Yep, he said it was a yellow card.
No chance of getting the ball. Dangerous lunge at the guy running full speed. Flag kick basically off the ground, but it's not red.
And just interesting, you said like there's something not right there. Did you see Lampard is publicly questioning his players' mentality after the result today? He's came out and said that some of them don't have the right mentality for.
What would you want
Everton.
him to do though? Because I think managers get to a point and they say, "Look, I've done what I can do. I have good players. If I've tried to, put things together, and these guys are not doing as wonderful as they should." Player accountability does come in, though. Is it not right for the manager to question or the mentality of his players?
Oh yeah, it's totally right. I'm just saying it's like it's got to that stage now. He's doing it to the press. He's saying about the players' mentality. So it sounds like he's had enough.
But interestingly, though, when we said the same thing about your beloved Man United, Mr. John, you were going, oh no, there's a way you've got to do it. You can't just some players need a hug, blah blah blah. You were basically espousing that there must be different ways to deal with players' egos, etc., etc. But now when it's not your team, you're basically saying, yeah, you can throw everybody under the bus because the manager's done all he can do. I think it was episode 24. I'm not sure. I'll check. Just saying it.
If Big Dog, did you notice how I kept quiet all through? I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. First of all, what I did say, I never said there's anything wrong with calling players mentality. I did say, yes, you're right. I said there are different ways of managing players, but I did not say there's anything wrong with calling them out. And you're wrong. It wasn't episode 24.
I know I made that part up, but I know, but it was episode. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna post it. Get comments on it. Watch.
So. I mean, looking at the situation now, you would say Frank Lampard's sole job right now, the angry one, is keep Everton up. Do you think so? If he keeps Everton up, do you think they'll give him a full season next season?
If I'm him, I'm bouncing after that because that team is dead. It's a massive job. If you're questioning the mentality now, okay, clean slate, you might get you've got Cavalier back. But I don't know. I think he will know by now whether there's enough players in there to make any sort of decent run next season. So it might be a case of thanks for the experience, but I'm going to do one. If I were him, that's what I would do because they're shambles.
In terms of the FA Cup, though, Big Dunk, what was he expecting? Was he expecting them to fight, or did he want to have as good a run he could in terms of getting to the semi-final for the FA Cup? Or the players, did they just have their mindset on, look, we just need to stay in the league?
Yeah, he said after the game he wasn't too bothered, and him and the fans would both want their survival in the league rather than a cup run. But like as a manager, it must be pretty galling to stand there and watch your team lose 4-0 to. I mean, what Palace are a mid-table team? Like they're not
still
one of
higher
the
than Everton.
Top six. Yeah, higher than Everton, but like you wouldn't expect your team to capitulate that much. Against a mid-table team, maybe if it was like Liverpool or Man City, but not someone like Palace. So I would say expected the fight, yeah.
And also, if you can't get up for that game, football's not switch. You can't say, "Oh, don't really matter about this game. I'll play crap, but then I'll play magically the next game because it's the league." That's not really how it works. It's about building momentum. So even if you didn't win, at least a performance to say, "Okay, we can build on that." But you can't build enough 4-0 drubbing. Like, what's going on? So whatever he's saying to the press, in reality, he's screwed because winners are winners. You don't want to lose even a Carling Cup game, even a friendly. You don't want to lose a friendly. So I don't know, man. Everton in big trouble, mate.
With expectations, they got the win over Newcastle, so you'd want to build on that. Otherwise, you're just back into the doldrums like you were before that game.
Well, the international week might be good for them. I mean, they would be good. No games to play till April. This could help. This could like refresh them, make them ready for the next couple of games. The next couple of games, I mean, they're playing West Ham, Burnley, Man United, Crystal Palace again, and Leicester.
Which of those games do you think they're going to win? Which of those games look winnable?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the pro.
Burnley, maybe.
Yeah, but anything could happen after the international week. Fresh legs, fresh mentality. You never know. I mean, they could just go on a run. Maybe apart from the Man United game, they don't have to go on a run for that game. But after that, we know.
I don't think Frank's that type of manager to get them up and going. If it's a mental block, it's more than that. The balance of that team isn't right anyway, to be honest. So I don't know. I mean, you're right. There is some time for them to get on the training ground a bit more and practice stuff and get some team bonding, go on a lads' night out in Malaga. But I don't know if that's enough to then start putting points on the board. To be honest, we'll see.
And like historically, once a manager goes to the press and questions his players' mentality, how often does that work out? That's normally the slippery slope to bad things.
Well, we shall see. Leeds doing well, and Everton being very dicey in terms of inconsistent and pretty much not being able to go on a run. The angry one thinks they can't even celebrate their goal, so that just already tells you that they are terrible. So the bottom of the table is looking, competitive, but it's pretty much unless Burnley and Watford do like a last run, I think in my opinion, I think it's going to stay the way it is. Moving on to the top of the table before we go to the fourth spot situation. Liverpool, Man City, 1 point between them. Liverpool win their remaining 9 games, they win the league because Man City obviously is in that 9. And of course, if Man City win their other games, they too win the league. Do you think there is a possibility that with the fact that Liverpool didn't even play well against Arsenal and they won, is that the championship spirit, Big Dunk?
Well, they're on a serious hot run. Like that's the championship form that's going to get them to the line, if anything. They have to go to Man City, do they, at some stage? Do we know when that one is? Is that soon or towards the end?
It's 9th of April.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, fairly soon after the international break. Again, that's a tough one to call. Obviously, Man City are an amazing team, great squad, but they've had a couple of slip ups. So Liverpool are right back in it. I guess, like historically, if you look at title fights like that, the chasers might get a bit of a boost out of like clawing them back and catching them up. But that's really just going to come down to that game at the Etihad on the 9th of April then, as to who's going to take the title, I'd say.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is the 10th of April. It's a Super Sunday.
Oh.
So 1 day off. However,
It moved.
By you, yeah? Well,
I told him.
Both teams are still in the Champions League and they are still in the FA Cup. But Liverpool and Man City Liverpool could play in the semi-final. Will this serve as distractions for them, the angry one? Does it depend on how, because everybody wants to either go for the treble, Liverpool already have a cup. Do you think this will distract any of these teams?
I don't think it will distract City. They've got squad depth. There's people worth 100 million that aren't even playing, so I don't think it's going to bother them either way. Liverpool normally keep a tight ship anyway, and they also now have got a little bit of squad depth. I mean, the worst case they can bring on a Origi. So, I mean, I think they've both got their eyes on the prize, which is the Prem, because that's the bread and butter. But I think the Champions League is more important to City than it is to Liverpool, to be honest. But obviously, Liverpool take it.
I mean, Liverpool, the next couple of games, they're playing Watford, and then they play Benfica in the Champions League, then play City on the 10th of April, play Benfica again, and play City in the FA Cup. So it's amazing that both teams will be able to stop each other from, at least the cup game or the league. Do you see, let's say Liverpool beat Man City, Big Dunk, do you see Liverpool winning all 4 competitions?
No, I don't see them doing it this season. I don't think they'll take the Champions League this season. If I were to put money on Champions League this season, I would go for City. Like Mike was just talking about the squads there. Liverpool had a decent squad out tonight against Nottingham Forest, and they had a few like fringe players in, and they weren't great. They had to scrape by against a championship team. So I'd say in terms of the two squads, Man City are leagues ahead. Possibly, but again, like they had a decent team out. They should have been able to put that game to bed.
I mean, Nottingham Forest did take out Arsenal. I mean, they're a big team.
Their championship team. Like you'd be expecting Liverpool to be beating them. But yeah, Man City have a far better squad. Again, if I was to put money on, I'd say Man City for the Champions League. Maybe Real Madrid will have a shout in there as well. I don't know. I could see Liverpool taking the league, but possibly like I don't think they've got the squad to take down all four of those competitions.
So we talk about squad and all that, and of course the international break coming up. Some players will definitely go play for their countries. Some will have a good rest. It's like a last minute. April is going to be really big in terms of determining what happens to these teams. Luis Diaz that's coming for Liverpool is like a breath of fresh air. Players like Jota and all that have been off and on injury. They could possibly, rest. The angry one. Liverpool or Man City for the league?
To be honest, yeah, I feel like Liverpool might do the treble, because they've already got their Carling Cup in the bag, and sometimes Man City's worst enemy is Pep. So sometimes you out Peps himself, sitting there overthinking, doing mad formations and stuff, just win the game. So if he does like what he did against Chelsea in Champions League, or whatever it was Champions League, then you don't know, because they haven't got the Agueros or the strikers to just come in and pop in a last minute goal. And because Klopp will just play the way he plays. I mean, I've seen him change his formations a little bit, tweak slightly. Once he went crazy, went 4-2-4. But generally, he knows what's best for his team and he does it. But sometimes Pep will go outside of his bubble and do something mad to show how clever he is. And then sometimes it doesn't work. So I think Liverpool, yeah, I think they might do the trouble, Champions League, it depends. I don't know. It's one of those games, but they'll definitely beat Benfica. Well, famous last words, but it should beat Benfica.
Well, the angry one is, looking at Liverpool for the treble. Big Dunk doesn't think they would win the Champions League, so he's possibly also looking at them for the treble. Man City, though, is it? Yes, you mentioned the fact that they have millionaires not playing, and Pep, out strategizing himself sometimes. In terms of, if you're Man City, Big Dog, which one would you rather win this season if you had the choice between the Premier League and the Champions League?
It's got to be the Champions League. That's the one they're really, really gunning for. So I'd say, like what Mike said about Guardiola, you'd think he might have learnt his lesson over the last few seasons with the Champions League and just go for it with the normal style, regardless of who they're playing. So again, I'm going to back them to get that monkey off their back and take that title. But that's what I said. I could see Liverpool maybe taking the league. But again, it's hard to call, but those are going to be my predictions for now.
I tell you what, though, if I'm Klopp and I win the quadruple, I'm retiring straight out. I'm not straight. That's it. Game over. I'll go and manage Germany or something. I'm taking a sabbatical, because you can't do anything else after that. There's no point.
I mean, he could go to PSG.
Oh, well, yeah. But you can't do it at Liverpool, though. That's it. You're done. You finish. You're legend forever.
I mean, he has mentioned the fact that he's not going to be in the game for too long. So you're right. If you imagine if he wins quadruple, I would
hate that.
I would
hate that.
Mean, loads of us will hate it. But the man will go on a very long sabbatical, and Pep will just grow hair or something, because he would lose his mind totally if that happens. So at this point in time, though, in terms of Pep v Klopp, as you said, the angry one, Klopp usually sticks to his formation, player personnel, switch. Pep can strategize here, strategize there. Is it are they at the point in the season where play to your strengths and play what you know? Or do you think they can look at each other and somebody will try and out-chess the other person based on their current squads?
Well, I think that Pep has more of a chance to has the ability to out-chess people more than most, because he's got so many moving parts. So, okay, Liverpool now have more, so they can play Diaz, Jota, any combination front four. But literally, City can play two separate 11s and still be as good as Liverpool. I mean, whether you play De Bruyne or Foden or those guys, I don't think it makes massive difference. Not in the same way that it makes a difference if, say, for example, Salah doesn't play. So I think maybe that's half the problem, when you've got too many good players. I always reference FIFA, but it's true as well. You've got too many good players, you don't know how to play. when you've got like a 12, 13 players, you're kind of in a rhythm. So that kind of, I think, is an advantage to Liverpool, because they have the same set of players more or less, but they can tweak the way they play. Whereas Pep's got so many players, and then his mind is like a bloody multi-universe, and he's trying to do all these mad things with so many players. There's too many permutations sometimes, I think, and then he falls short. Not often, but so far in the biggie, he has.
I mean, sitting. I don't know. We don't say comfortably, but sitting quite okay in third position is Chelsea. They're not going to win the league, but they have a chance to play. They're in the FA Cup semi-final, and they are playing Crystal Palace. So, is this a case that, and Man City, Liverpool in the semi-final as well? So Chelsea is definitely going to play one of those. Could Chelsea have a trophy in the bag? Will Tuchel be able to pull it off? Big Dunk?
They've always got a chance. They did it in the Champions League.
And Lukaku scored.
Yeah. I was watching that goal earlier. That pass, I think it was Mason Mount. That's what you call a pinpoint pass for that goal. Like,
if I said that,
Lukaku
the angry one is here, I love him too much or whatever. Just saying.
Like Lukaku was the other side of the defender. The goalie was, I don't know, 4 or 5 yards away, and he just slotted it right between. Really nice pass. But yeah, like Chelsea, they're back on a little bit of form. Like you said, Lukaku scored. You can't write them off. So if it's a game, Chelsea, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, they've always got a chance against anyone, really. So it's definitely possible.
By the way, I put a bid in for Chelsea again, £1, like in the old days, but it got rejected for some reason. Bastards.
Yeah, you probably didn't declare your name. Should have declared your name, the angry one.
It was 99p. But yeah, the thing with Chelsea is they're like, on paper, they almost seem, based on the early form, seem like the perfect team. Like they've got everything. They've got the big striker up top. They've got different permutations in and around him. They've got a solid defense. They've got great wing backs. Well, 2 great wing backs. But I don't know. It's just not working at the moment. Like even when they're winning, it's not like it was in the beginning of the season when they were just running through teams like they weren't even there. So even though technically speaking they are basically a heavyweight like Man City and Liverpool, at the moment you can't count them. It's almost like there's the top 2, there's Chelsea, and then there's everybody else. It's like they're just in the League of One, basically.
I mean, other than the league, they do have a chance to win the FA Cup and the Champions League because they're still in the Champions League. So I would assume that would be put as a very successful season if they can defend their Champions League and win the FA Cup. That'd be amazing. And with change of ownership, I mean, it's not like Tuchel will get sacked if he wins that. So
no, he'll go Man United after that.
I mean, there is that rumor though, which is quite amazing, that he's been linked with Man United. If you are Tuchel, I'll come back to you, the angry one. But if you are Tuchel, Big Dunk, would you leave Chelsea and go to Man United?
Again, like it depends on the situation at Chelsea. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, we know what's going on now, Big Dunk. There's no money. There's nothing happening. Would you leave that situation now and go to Man United?
But like, if you get new owners in before the end of the season and they give you a blank checkbook, you're staying. Man U is becoming a little bit of a poison chalice.
Joke team.
It could, I wouldn't say it ruin your reputation, but it's a bit of a poison chalice because it's not been happening for them for the last few years. But then again, like the flip side of that is, if you can go in there and make them great again, you're going to be the stuff of legends if you could go into Man U. So it's hard to tell. I'd say he'll probably stay at Chelsea if they get the new owners and good backing from them. With
all the reasons you can think of, the angry one. I mean, these rumors, I don't know where they come from, but let's try and think. What could be, why would Tuchel go to Man United? Why?
Well, Man United is the biggest, let's say, arguably the biggest club in the world, isn't it? So, and then to follow the legacy of Fergie and make Man U great again, that could be a big draw for someone with a big ego. But at the moment, Chelsea are better than Man United, so really there isn't a reason for you to go there other than the name and the draw of Man United or something going a bit wrong at Chelsea. But other than that, there isn't. It's just, but Man United are a bigger team than Chelsea. Chelsea might not. I don't know what's going to happen with Chelsea now. Now that Roman's gone, they might go back to the old days.
It's not gone yet, man. It's not gone yet. Let the your £1 was rejected. Let the sale go through first before you get rid of the guy.
Oh man. Well, yeah. So I mean, I don't know, but Man United is Man United. It's got that pedigree that only Liverpool can really match them for pedigree, really, for longevity. Although, albeit Liverpool fell by the wayside for like 20, 30 years, but in terms of British or English football, it's Man United and Liverpool. So if you can get to one of them, you probably would.
Well, we shall see. We'll see what decision he makes, or whether it's just a rumor. Chelsea sitting third, possibility of winning 2 trophies come the end of the season. Liverpool Man City doing their thing, going for troubles and all that. So we shall move to the hot seat, which is the 4th position. As it stands, Big Dunk, it's advantage Arsenal, comfortably sitting in the 4th spot.
Whoa! Not comfortably, not comfortably. Let's not exaggerate. Yeah.
Big Dunk.
I'm just saying it.
Big Dunk. We'll get to the angle. We'll give him a chance to talk. Arsenal comfortably sitting in the 4th spot. 54 points, 3 points ahead of Tottenham with 2 games in hand, I think.
One game.
One now. Yeah.
One game. Okay.
We're gonna play them.
The angry one. I've told you, relax. I'm talking to Big Dunk for now. Chill.
You're jinxing though. Why are you jinxing?
Yeah. So, and they are sitting comfortably. I mean, it's 54, 4th position, international break. They'll come back refreshed. They have had the wonderful advantage of not playing any other tournament apart from the usual domestic, but they're all good, fresh to go for the last couple of games in the Premier League, 9 games, I believe. So, I've asked everybody here, but Mike always thinks I'm trying to jinx his team. Surely, it is Arsenal's position to lose.
I wouldn't say they're that comfortable. I'm going to be with Mike here on this one. Like that's not that comfortable. 4 points ahead. Was it 4 points ahead of Spurs? You said
3 points.
4 points.
Okay.
3 points.
Of Man United. 4 points ahead of Man United.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So 3 points with 1 game in hand. Like that's not a lot. I'd say if they get their win in that game in hand, they'll be feeling a lot better about it. But if they have to go to Spurs, that's a game changer. Like it's like the Liverpool Man City clash. Like Spurs again, inconsistent. They beat West Ham tonight 3-1. So they beat Man City the other week. Like they can turn up, and if they're going to be up for a game, it's going to be up against Arsenal for 4th place in the league. So definitely, I'm not saying it's comfortable for Arsenal at the minute, no.
I mean, if we're looking at the fixtures, and apart from Mike talking about jinxing, Arsenal has been playing well, played well against Villa, was 1-0. I didn't particularly think Villa was a threat in that game, but Arsenal played well, composed everything, and even with Ramsdale getting injured before Leno coming up. So Arsenal's next couple of games, you have Crystal Palace, Brighton, Southampton, Chelsea, Man United, West Ham. The angry one.
And Tottenham.
That fixture hasn't been put in the calendar yet, but what do you think? I mean, people have been talking about, oh yeah, we always fall back, but you're not looking like the old Arsenal. You're looking like you're ready to go. Do you see yourself holding on to the 4th position?
No, I mean we could do, but I'm very concerned because when push comes to shove, we haven't. All of our rivals have better strikers that will make the difference. So we're playing very well now. That's fine, but as you can see, like we've got lack of no goals. Yeah, lack of goals. That's what I did there. Anyway, he's not going to score in a big game when it comes to it. But you've got Tottenham have got Spurs. Man United have got Ronaldo. West Ham have got Antonio. In those tight games that you need someone to do something. Even Chris Woods is scoring goals. Like, come on, yeah. And then you've got Laka. I love the guy to bits, but if we're going to rely on this guy,
Chris Wood has already scored 1 goal though in 9 matches.
How many goals has Laka scored?
I think he has
in open play.
I think don't twist the question. How many goals has he scored?
Come on, man. Come on. If it goes 0-0, you're backing Kane to score. You're backing Antonio to score. You're backing Ronaldo to score. Even Cavani, but you're not backing Laka to score. And I think that could be the difference. Some will argue we should have kept Oba, but Oba wasn't doing nothing for us anyway. But because we lack that clinical striker, or not even a half decent striker, to be honest, that's my concern. Because in those games when we've got to play all of our rivals, we've got to play West Ham, like you said, Tottenham, Man United, and Chelsea. There's going to be tight games, and you haven't got basically we're playing with no striker. So,
I mean, if you look at Arsenal's next 3 games, Crystal Palace away, Brighton at home, Southampton away. Surely, Big Dong, that's 9 points.
No. There's definitely 6, I'd say, from the Southampton, Brighton. They're on a real slump, both of those two. Palace are looking decent. If you've got to go there, they've got their tails up. They're on a decent run, getting some results. I'd say that's not a given. But again, like, if you want to be talking about momentum, if they can get 3 points from that, that's big. And then they'll just run that through, because they should comfortably beat Brighton and Southampton the way those two teams are playing at the minute. So if we talk about it in a few weeks' time and they've got the 9 points, then yeah, they're looking very good.
Well, we're talking about, so the closest person to them, and well, at the moment, is Tottenham. And Tottenham, they have, as we mentioned, very inconsistent. Can beat Man City and lose to some other team that's supposed to be, a smaller team, and Man City. I know they have the incentive of, look, we could actually finish 4th spot over our biggest rivals and be top dogs in North London. But their next 3 games, they're playing Newcastle at home, Aston Villa away, and of course Brighton again at White Hart Lane. Once again, could be 9 points for Tottenham.
That's 9 points.
So why is it 9 points for Tottenham, and then you don't see 9 points for Arsenal?
I didn't say it was 9 points for us. I didn't say that. I just said I don't see us getting over the line, because basically we're talking about basically 3-point gap. Yeah. So let's say Spurs beat us for some whatever reason, then we're level. And I just think, even though Spurs are inconsistent, like Man United are inconsistent as well at times, had to throw that in. However, both of those teams have a top quality striker who can pull it out of the bag. Or on the day that Ronaldo scored a hat-trick against Spurs, Man United weren't playing exceptionally well, but on that day, when Ronaldo turned up and scored a hat-trick. On another day, Kane could turn up and score a hat-trick. There's never going to be a day in my lifetime that Laka's going to turn up and score a hat-trick. So that's the difference. Sorry, Lax, but it's true, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. That could come down to hurt us. We haven't got Salah that's going to score 25 goals from the wing. Well, we've got Saka, he's very good. We've got Martinelli, he's very good, but they're not going to be getting those double figures into the 20s. So our top scorer is ESR. He's always on the bench. So where's the goals coming from? Eddie, Marlow, Stansfield. Well,
So are you putting down Arsenal's hope?
Like a light.
Are you putting Arsenal's hope of 4th spot just based on the ability of not having an out-and-out striker?
To score goals, yeah, because of the big games we've got to play. When we're playing the Brightons and stuff, I mean, you get goals from anywhere. Arsenal getting goals from maybe 3 or 4 spots. So you're getting the Saka's scoring, ESR was scoring when he was playing. Martinelli will pop up with a few, and Odegaard, and that is it for the whole team. And none of them are strikers. So, I mean, I'm not saying we can't do it. I'm just concerned that when it comes to it, Laka's gonna miss, or somebody, or maybe not miss, but we just won't get over the line because of Laka goes.
Okay, so let's look at it this way. So you have, let's look at the fixtures for April, and this is for Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, and West Ham. So we'll start with Man United. Man United's next 5 games, you have Leicester at Old Trafford, Everton away, Norwich at Old Trafford, Liverpool away, and Arsenal away. Now, looking at those fixtures, Big Dunk, any chance of Man United finishing 4th? I mean, there is a chance.
When you rattled off when you said the first 3, yeah, definitely. Then you got to Liverpool, so there's probably not a win there. Again, that's another big game then, if they're away at Arsenal.
Leicester just won today, and they're looking good. They're looking like they're getting back into it, and they always give Man United the tough game, though.
They've been patchy again. I like the way Vardy came back just for that Leeds game, so they won that one, and then he was gone again. So I would expect Man U to beat Leicester. again, yeah, it's so hard with this race. I probably wouldn't put money on West Ham at this stage. It's out of Arsenal, Tottenham, and Man U who can be the most consistent over the last few games. I think you're hyping up Arsenal because they've had a really good run, but like,
thank you.
Can you?
It's not hype.
Like,
It's not hype. It's trust the process, and they have been the most consistent team in the fourth spot. It's the truth. It's not hype.
Yeah. So up until this stage, they're in good form and really consistent. But like, if they were to keep that up, they'd be champions next year. Like, you can have these good runs, but runs come to an end at some stage and you place around where you are. So, tough to call. I don't know who I'd go for at this stage. We'll hear the other fixtures there, JJ, and I'll make my mind up.
All right, no worries.
I'll go for.
So Man United again. That's Leicester, Everton, Norwich, Liverpool, Arsenal. Arsenal, you have Crystal Palace, Brighton, Southampton, Chelsea, and Man United. Come on.
So the first 3 games, just like, yeah, okay. The last 2 games, that's easily back-to-back losses, or possibility of back-to-back losses. Because my point is this, quite simply, whatever fixtures we're talking about, Man United and Tottenham have the X factor of a goal scorer that will pull it out of nothing, even if you're playing badly, consistently. Saka might do it one day, Martinelli might do it another day, but they don't do it consistently. Harry Kane can win a game by himself. Ronaldo can win a game by himself. Fernandes can win a game by himself. Pogba, even when he's on form, can give you 4 assists when he feels like it. So these teams have, although we're playing the best out of all those teams I've just mentioned, so we're more consistent. I'm just saying that when it comes down to it, that X factor that sometimes gets you the win that you don't necessarily deserve, then the advantage is with those other teams because they've just got that X factor that we don't have at the moment in attack, or the consistent X factor. We've got no. Harry Kane's probably going to be the greatest goal scorer of all time in the Prem, or at least he's going to be in the top 3. Ronaldo's the greatest player of all time, arguably. And then you're comparing that to Lacazette.
I'm not. You're the one that's been comparing Lacazette to everybody else. You are the one that's like a no goals, or whatever you call them.
Franceschi, come on.
At the moment, Tottenham have Newcastle, Aston Villa, Brighton, Brentford, and Leicester. Their fixtures are looking very winnable. What do you think, Big Dunk?
Who's that?
Yeah.
Tottenham.
That's Spurs.
Tottenham.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll say it again. So they have Newcastle, Villa, Brighton, Brentford, Leicester. Then they play Liverpool after that.
Yeah, that's a nice set
they
of
might beat
fixtures
Liverpool
for
as
Spurs.
well. They could beat Liverpool on their day, to be honest.
Yeah. That's a nice set of fixtures. So again, when you're saying Arsenal comfortable, no, not when you just rattle off those 2 sets of fixtures there, and then they play Arsenal after those.
Yeah,
ones.
but Spurs are very inconsistent. Probably the most inconsistent. So in the top, with the guys going for the top 4. Sorry, that's a tiny mute there. With the guys going for the top 4 as it stands, Tottenham inconsistent, Man United underperforming, Arsenal good reign of form, West Ham not very much balanced. So when you're looking at that, Tottenham might have the easiest fixtures on paper, but because they're so inconsistent, there is that possibility. You don't think, unless they get some wonderful form come after the international break. What do you think, Big D?
Well, they beat West Ham tonight, 3-1. Again, Son, another name you missed off for Spurs, can pop up. He got 2 goals tonight. So I would say, like, as the season goes on, they're probably going to get more consistent than they have been, because they've been pretty bad in patches. So again, you got to factor that in with the fact with can Arsenal keep up their form, and again, Man United, they could turn up. They haven't been for a few games, but they can turn up as well. That's the beauty of football. Really, really tough to predict at the minute. And the other thing to factor in is if you're playing a team in a relegation battle at this stage of the season, they're normally up for the fight. That's going to make it harder in those games.
So the thing is as well, whoever wins their next night. So Tottenham are on a little bit of a run. They won 2 in the bounce, and then the 5 fixtures you described should all be winnable. So by the time we get to the 5th fixture, you could be looking at them being on a 6-7 game run. So that only leaves 3 games left. There's only 9 games left in the season. So out of those 3 teams, whoever wins all 9 games or wins the most games, but let's say the Man United win all 9 games or Tottenham, then they're going to win the top 4 place because they have to play their rivals, and there's only a small gap between them now.
Man United has
top 4 cup.
Man United has Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal.
Doesn't matter who you got because you got Ronaldo.
What does that do? What has that done for us this season?
Well, it makes you beat Tottenham 3-0 without playing well for a start.
And if at the end of the season you don't finish 4th, what does that do?
Well, we'll talk about that when you don't finish 4th. But at the moment, we're talking about the potential to finish 4th. And you're just going to make out as if no one else has got a chance apart from Arsenal. When clearly,
no. You have a big tendency of misquoting me.
Clearly,
you have a big tendency of misquoting me all the time. I didn't say. I said it's Arsenal's position to lose. I didn't say nobody else has a chance.
You actually didn't say that at all. You didn't say that at all.
I did.
You said that we're comfortably sitting in top 4.
Yes, because at the moment
we're not comfortably.
You are comfortably sitting in top 4.
How are we comfortably sitting in top 4?
How are you not comfortably sitting in top 4?
We're in top 4. We're not comfortably because you just described the fact that we've got to play Spurs. They've got easier fixtures than us, and they're on a run of form. So I don't really know how you can describe comfortably.
Apart from comfortable.
Chelsea are comfortably in the top 4.
Come on. Yeah, okay. We're in there, but it's not comfortable.
Okay. With an outside chance, though, you have West Ham, and West Ham's next fixtures they have Everton. Bearing in mind they're still in the Europa League, which is very tough to play in. Good win against Seville, but they have Everton, Brentford, Burnley, Chelsea, and Arsenal, and in between they play Lyon, home and away. So, any chance of fortunes changing for West Ham? The angry one?
No, I don't think they're going to get top 4, but they will probably have a decider in who doesn't get top 4. Like if they beat us, for example. And you said they've got to play Chelsea, have they? I don't know. So it's just us then. Wait, the only team they've got to play is just us. So it's only us they can stop then. That's great. Hopefully they're a bit tired from, hopefully they go all the way to the final. And they're tired when they play us and we can just roll them over real quick. But yeah, listen, this top 4 is one win and then it all turns around. One loss and it all turns around and then they keep swapping places. So I don't think anyone is going to be comfortable in that top 4. Even if Spurs go in it, it's still going to be squeaky bum time till the end of the season because a few teams have got to play each other and one bad result and then somebody leapfrogs you. It's going to be quite tight. This league this season is kind of mad. Everywhere, everything's tight.
Give West Ham any chance, Big Dog?
I don't think at this stage, particularly after losing to Spurs tonight. But like Mike said, they can still be a pain in the ass for someone else pushing for that place.
Just Arsenal, basically.
I'll tell you the best one.
But I have to say, as a Leeds fan, I'm really enjoying these fixture lists. You're reading out that like the bottom teams have got to be playing some of the top teams.
The best thing that could happen this season is let's say Man United finish 4th, and then Arsenal finish 5th. Then West Ham wins the Europa League and goes to the Champions League. That would be so nice. But it's just.
How's that good?
It's not good for you.
So you've just shown your true colours.
I didn't say
you've shown your true colours now.
I didn't say it's good for you.
You're supposed to be. Hold on. You're supposed to be a neutral here. Always
I am. No. No, I am a neutral. I just said.
Are you a neutral?
You attack me. You attack me every week. I'm just saying.
No, I attack Man United. I don't attack you. I attack Man United.
That's me.
See, so you proved it again.
That's me.
Impartial.
It was just a hypothetical situation where his team does remarkably well and yours gets screwed over, mate. That's all it was.
Thank you very much.
Wait. Why did you not say Spurs? Why did you have to say Arsenal?
Okay. I'm sorry. Let's
too late now.
No. Let's do this.
I'm muting. No.
Let's do it this way. Arsenal finish 5th. Spurs finish 4th. And West Ham wins the Europa League and goes to the Champions League. That'll be so nice.
So you'd rather so basically, all you care about is Arsenal not getting top 4 again.
No,
Hater.
no, I'm not saying that. You're comfortably in the fourth spot. Remember, comfortably in the fourth spot. Well, as you said, this season is tight everywhere. I mean, this is one of them seasons that anybody that wins or finishes in the fourth or gets into Europe will be like, "Oh man, we actually deserve this." But
It's just tight as one of those silk cardigans you wear on a night out, isn't it, Julian?
I don't wear silk cardigans. I don't.
You do.
No, I don't.
You do.
No, I don't.
You do.
No, you have a picture to prove? And
You do. I'll put one on later on.
all right, cool. Put up a picture.
Right.
And what's wrong with silk cardigans? I'm not saying I wear it. I'm just saying what's wrong with silk cardigans.
If you have to ask that question, then we're already in a bad place.
No, we're not. Anyway, moving forward with football and not fashion police here with the angry one. So we are now moving to player and flop of the week, and we'll let Big Dunk start with that.
Oh, where will I go? Right, go on. I'll stick with Leeds for my player of the week. We'll give it to Ayling because he never ever scores. So for him to pop up and get a goal in that Wolves victory was great. So I'll give Ayling the player of the week. Flop of the week. Who we go for? Oh, I got to think. Can we delve into Europe, or do we have to stay with the Premier League here?
No, it's your player and flop of the week. Go do what you want.
Ooh, can you come back to me on the flop? Go ask Mike there. I'll mull over the flop and see who I want to give it to.
Just say Maguire. It always works.
I was considering it.
Why? Just for being Maguire. All right. The player of the week. Player of the week. I mean, there are a couple of candidates in there. You could have thrown Iwobi in there for that last minute goal. Terrible celebration. Could have thrown Saka in there, win us the game. Could have thrown Schmeichel in there. He was having he was on one against whoever Brentford, I think it was. He made some serious saves to keep Leicester in there. But it has to go to Ayling because 2-0 down and you do that, mate. This is.
Do you mean Jimenez?
Who else? No. Player of the week. No, player of the week.
All right, yeah.
Player of the week. Yeah, player of the week. Flop of the week, though. I was going to shout that ref in the Arsenal game who gave Xhaka a yellow card trying to shake someone's hand, but I won't. I will give it to Jimenez because it was getting you're in a yellow, you fly in with no chance. I mean, if you're 2-0 down, I'd understand the passion, but you're 2-0 up. Why just jump over him? Why make the challenge? Why?
He was showing passion as a striker. Well,
from that angle, 2-0 up.
So I've got mine now. I'm just going to give it to Newcastle for losing to Everton because that was an absolutely awful result. So, and it didn't do Leeds any favours either. So I'll give my flop of the week to not the whole town like you, JJ. I'll just give it to the team of Newcastle.
Just the players played, basically.
Yeah. We'll just hold them accountable. Not everyone. We won't tar everyone with the same brush.
All right, no worries. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, players and flop of the week. Before we go, though, we are an international break coming up, and we're going to have loads and loads of international football, World Cup qualifiers, and all that. Seeing as we are, Premier League boys and English football is our thing. Okay, let's have a look at Gareth Southgate's England squad. Yes, I know these are two friendlies. This is where he's, checking players out just to make sure who he could possibly take for the World Cup and all that story. So my first question goes to the angry one, since he brought his name up when the guy had no need for his name to come up. Why is Maguire and Luke Shaw making the squad? Luke Shaw hasn't played in a while. Maguire hasn't been playing well in a while. Yes, I said it's friendlies, but what's Southgate doing exactly? Why are those two on there?
Well, he's picking his people that I wouldn't say favourites necessarily, but people that he trusts. The big omissions were, I think Sancho didn't make it and neither did Rashford. But Sancho's been playing well, to be honest. So I'm not sure why.
Southgate said for Sancho that he has been playing well. But when you look at the other wingers that have been playing well, they're way ahead of them. So like Saka and every other player he picked, Saka and ESR, he said those guys have been playing better than Sancho.
ESR's not even a winger. But anyway, yeah. And Foden, I guess, as well. So, but like Maguire has been, if it's based on form, Maguire wouldn't even get into the ladies' team. No offense to the ladies, yeah, but he's been terrible. So it purely has to be on the fact that he's never let Southgate down in an England shirt, which he hasn't. To be fair, I can't knock him for that. In an England shirt, he's been all right. Same with Shaw, but if Shaw's not been playing, you're just basing it on previous form. I always question the friendlies anyway, because they're supposed to be friendlies, but yet he still plays Harry Kane and people like that who we already know what they've got. He doesn't give anybody else a chance, or not many people. But then maybe there is the thing that even though it's a friendly, if he loses it, the press will slaughter him. Nobody will say, "Oh, it's only a friendly." They'll be like, "Oh, why didn't you play Harry Kane against San Marino or whatever?" So I guess it's a double-edged sword. But I would like to see some other players like Calvert-Lewin or some other players getting a run of like more than 5 minutes at the end of the game.
This is why it confuses me, Big Dunk, because I mean, what the angry one said is true. He's picking players that never let him down, which is fine. But at the same time, you should picking players with form. So if you look at the midfield, you have Jude Bellingham, Conor Gallagher is there. He's had a wonderful season for Crystal Palace, so yes, he has clearly been picked because of his form. Jordan Henderson, Mason Mount. I don't know why Mason Mount is there either. You have Declan Rice, and of course James Ward-Prowse. So James Ward-Prowse is.
Sorry. Did you just say that you don't know why your best pal in the world Mason Mount?
He's not my best pal. It's not my best pal. I just called out the time that he played well, but I don't know why he's there now. I mean, and then if you look at the forwards that has been selected, Jack Grealish is there, which I also question. Too inconsistent. I mean, I'm sure there are some other people that could have been picked if you want to give people a chance. Saka, no question. Harry Kane, no question. Sterling, off and on. Sterling is also in this. So I don't understand other players that are not in there that have been on form. What would they be thinking at this time, Big Dunk?
When it comes to Southgate, like, you can't just dump the whole squad out for a couple of friendlies on form. I guess you have to keep the core there. I can see why he's got Maguire in again. Like he normally does do the business for England. It's kind of like Pickford as well. I don't know. We'll see if they can keep his trust in them over into the World Cup, but yeah, he can't like get every form player in. Like again, he just get criticised for that.
I mean, at some point he got Jesse Lingard, knowing that he wasn't going to select him, but he got him to play friendly. So, and then at this moment in time, you have Ben White is in there because he's had a good season, so we can understand that. But friendlies, the whole point of friendlies is to test these players. And Southgate, since he has been the manager of England, has always shown that he doesn't really care what the press say. He's given enough. I think he's the manager that's given most people their English a chance to play in the English team. He sticks to. I mean, Henderson was taken to the tournament even if he was injured. I get that, trying to keep the core, but in a friendly game, 2 friendly games, and you have Tammy Abraham has been doing well in Italy, so yes, he's starting. But you have Ollie Watkins. He's not even in the team, and he's been playing well. So what does that tell you? I mean, it's confusing to me. So
Watkins hasn't been that great. He's got a couple of goals here and there, but again, it's like the rugby as well. You have to build towards things. Like, so even though it's a friendly, you're not just going to like put out a completely fresh 11 of completely different players just to see what they're like. You still need to have some structure to it and some of the core players in there to see how they're going to blend in with that system. So, I wouldn't criticize him too much for the squad selection here. He's got the core and he's got a few of the form players in, and I just hope he's going to try them out in the games, give them some starts.
What I hope is that, because it's only a friendly, I hope that none of the Arsenal guys play. Kane gets injured. Just until the end of the season, not for the World Cup though. Obviously, you need him to play for the World Cup, and some of the other guys get a little bit mashed up as well. But none of the Arsenal players do, so we can get top 4. That's what I hope.
Thank you very much for that wonderful insight, the angry one. Well, we had a sneak peek at the Southgate team and as to why and certain players have made it and why some haven't, but we shall see. They are friendlies, and he's picking players is trusted, keeping the core together, and then we'll see what happens. And maybe it will help him decide on certain decisions. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this wonderful episode. The angry one, as always, supporting Arsenal till he dies and disagreeing with me that they're sitting comfortable in the 4th spot. Big Dunk, always a pleasure to have you. Of course, we hope Leeds continues to do wonderful things and they stay up. So next season they could be the Whipping Boys. Who knows? Well, thank you guys. Hope you have a good time at this. If you like what you hear, what you listen to, what you see, please subscribe, hit that notification button, and we shall be with you after the international break, as the wonderful Grassroots Studios will be taking a break, and we'll be back when the Premier League comes back. Till then, it's goodbye from Big Dunk.
See you later, guys.
And of course, see you later from the Angry One.
Adios, amigos.